Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 20 of the Galaxy podcast. I am your host, obviously, BlueStar, and today we're joined with Millz. How are you doing today, man?
Oh no, I'm doing great.
Hell yeah. Uh, Today, he used to play for me. I know I've talked about in my previous podcasts when we've talked to other esports owners that I used to own Frosted Vipers, and he was actually my team captain at the time. Um, how many how many games did you play? Was it just one game
Uh,
or was it two games?
I
That
think we played two whole leagues at the time.
I think so because I think
It was
we
a,
that was we started Cold War and then what was after Cold War? That was
that was a
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
It'd be the
Yeah,
Vanguard, yeah. So in I think you started captaining. When was that? Maybe the later of Cold War, was it?
yeah, it was towards the end of it. I think the team that we had, those boys ended up doing something else. So I was like, sure, I'll just take over, keep it going.
Yeah, it was Helloface that led that.
God,
And
what a name! What a guy!
what a guy. I haven't talked to him in a long time
It's been a couple years, yeah.
because we had Hello Face, we had Toasty, um,
We had what was it, Splashy, I think.
Ephem, we had Ephem in
Oh
there.
my God,
Ephem tried to captain after you left.
bringing back memories. I forgot all about that roster.
Oh yeah, I forget the other guy. There was a fourth. It was you, Ephem, and then I forget the third and fourth. Oh no,
I
Toasty was
mean,
the third. I forget the fourth.
I'm kind of like drawing blank. It could have been like Splashy. I swear Splashy was on the team, and it could have been Fearless as well.
Fearless. It was Fearless. I remember him. Yep.
That's my duo. Love that guy.
Oh yeah. So you compete also for military esports, don't you?
Yeah, for Marine Corps gaming.
How's that going for you?
It's kind of a dry patch right now because I think in MW2 we were playing a lot of like tournaments, lands, leagues. It was like really popping, and then I got deployed, so I missed out on all of MW3. And then uh, this COD was supposed to, like, we were supposed to have like a lot of tournaments and lands and stuff, and since Doge came in and started like the whole like government audit, it kind of put a pause on all of that. So kind of been dead this year. I'm not gonna lie.
I did not know that Doge kind of put a pause on that stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a real deal. It was kind of like the whole government kind of got audited and all like the financial part of it just it all had to like I guess be valued. So it's like they went through all like the transaction and it
Hmm.
had to like have a reason. Otherwise, like if they saw like the reason wasn't worthy, then like your funding would get paused and get canceled.
Hmm. Yeah, I knew Doge did a bunch of auditing, but I didn't know that they would like wipe out like esports for the military. Because I know Scrappy Doo, he competed for the military. I know Soup Sandwich did. I don't know if you remember any of those names, but I know
Oh yeah, yeah,
they both competed. I know Scrappy owns Chaos now, is what he's doing.
yeah, yeah.
So what esports team are you on now? Because I knew you were with uh, that Marchers team for a while. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Like after I went to Night Marches Esports, and then I kind of just been bouncing around. Like I was on I guess I was really never on a team. I kind of now like for this next lane that I'm trying to go to, I'm with like 14K, what? I think Resonance. I'm with that squad, and then kind of up in the air after that. I really haven't had like a home since Night Marchers and you guys.
Yeah, and I've kind of really got out of the competitive scene, and I haven't even played BO6 to be honest with you. And
I don't blame you on that.
has is it like any good at all? I seen the new mechanics. I'm just like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to keep up with the new mechanics.
It's at first it's like kind of difficult. Like it's actually it seems simple, but it's kind of hard. But once like you hit, it's really like once you hit, like a certain point, it's like it all just kind of flows together. At first, it's like taking baby steps, and then after that, you can run.
Yeah, it's kind of understandable. Talked to a first few players when it first came out, and they were saying that like it's kind of new. They don't know how the competitive scene is gonna go. I've watched some COD, but to be honest, I've kind of really stepped away from the COD scene. I kind of got like a small job. I was going to actually help run a league. There was like 4 or 5 like esports teams that were coming together, and we were going to build this massive league that was bigger than like XP League and stuff like that. We're going to have multiple tier leagues, and I actually ended up stepping away from that. I even had a small job. All I would have to do was check cheaters and
Oh,
find
easy.
cheaters, and like I was going, it was going to be a paid money job. I'd reach out to other leagues, figure it out people, and I ended up stepping away. I stepped away from Galaxy, which I was a content creator for them, and then I became a general manager. And then
Yeah.
I decided that I wanted to take content creation full time. And
Are you talking about
then
like Galaxy, like the
Galaxy
hold on.
Esports
Yeah, I think yeah.
with
Yeah, they hit
Dangerous and T Man used to run it, or T something,
yeah.
Big T.
They hit me up to play and I kinda put them to the side. I wasn't interested in the time, I guess.
Yeah, if you remember Lego actually helped me get onto that team. He
Like what? Lego HD?
No, just
Oh.
Lego Leggo.
Oh.
He helped found Frosted Vipers. I don't know if he was before you or not. I think he was before you. I think Hello knew him, but I don't think you knew him.
I might have heard of him. I just forgot. That was so long ago.
Yeah, that was heck, that was 21. That was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, and that's kind of the foundation of it. Like I wouldn't still be competing without that team, honestly.
Oh, so did you start with Frosted Vipers?
Yeah, that was like my first real team.
Hell yeah.
Like the first league I ever competed in was with you guys.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So what got you into competing for like Call of Duty?
Uh, I guess long story short, I watched the BO2 championship, like the world championship, and I thought it was pretty cool. These guys are playing video games and they're getting paid lots of money. So then I kind of just started like following Optic players and FaZe and all that good stuff, and kind of just went from there. And I've at some point like I actually took it serious, and then life kind of hits you, and then it's like, it's like a side hustle.
Oh yeah. And one thing for me, like I started competing in Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare was probably my top games. And then once the like Modern Warfare 2019 came around, I kind of noticed like my skills going down compared to other people. So I had to step down and start doing the management side. And one thing I didn't notice was that you actually have to invest in a lot of the esports to
Yeah,
actually have a good organization. And
yeah.
I
To run a
was
good
just
org,
a
it's
16-year-old in high school trying to do a organization. I get done with homework and I get on my phone, start recruiting, or I'd start
yeah,
trying to find opportunities for my team.
it's very time consuming. Like to run a good org, you either gotta have a lot of money or you gotta know a lot of people to be a cool dude.
And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to running an org. You got to have connections, and if you don't, that's one of the things that I struggled with was because I kind of jumped from competitive straight to owning an organization. So they used
Yeah,
to have like the Instagram and Twitter teams. We were considered an Instagram team because we weren't known on Twitter. And
yeah. I mean, I was
then
cool with that. Yeah,
I didn't care, but I didn't see the big deal about it. But and then going to Twitter, you could see there was a lot of new players, a bunch of new people just competing and stuff like that.
I'd say back in that time, Twitter was the way to go. Like Instagram was kind of, it was alright. You never really found like any standout teams on Instagram, but Twitter was always where it was at.
And to be honest, it was a great time because I enjoyed Frosted Vipers. I didn't know that was your first team at all. I figured that
Yeah, that was
you competed for other people before that.
no, that was the start. I think I met, I don't know who it was. It might have been Helloface. I literally met him in like a ranked play.
Hmm.
He's like, hey, we need a fill in. Do you wanna join? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And literally went from there. Otherwise, I probably would have been like a ranked play kid or something.
Yeah, Hello. I recruited Hello through a post, and then he played, and then Lego was the captain, because decided to just be the owner, and then Lego ran the team, and then once Lego stepped down, Hello stepped up, and he ran it for most of Cold War. I knew you ran
Yeah,
it for most of Vanguard.
yeah. I
And
mean, I think that's how it went. I think Hello was talking about like I don't know if he had like family problems or what, but he was talking about like leaving for a while.
yeah, I don't know what's gone on with him. I've reached out to like check on him, and like I'm still in touch with some of the players, but there's a lot of people that like I don't hear from at all. Like Kill Switch Gunner, I don't know if you remember him, or like Venom.
I
Venom
think so, yeah.
Venom took our Warzone team really far, and we could never have somebody that could compete like he could.
Yeah.
It was I couldn't imagine how much shit that he did. It was pretty big when I seen that.
I feel like for like a lot of people who play like competitive games, like if they just it's almost like a switch, like they just kind of don't enjoy it anymore and they just disappear. Like they just put all of it to the side. I can
Yeah.
kind of respect it too.
And one thing about Call of Duty, it's a new thing every year, and especially just competing in general. Uh, it's there's changes to keep it up and going. Then there's
Yeah.
also new players, new strategies, new up and coming teams and leagues and lands. It's a big, not even an organization. I can't even get the name out. Big field
Yeah.
for a bunch of players, and it's hard to get into because you. It's more of an investment than it is to actually run a team, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I've known a few teams that they've ran out of like a college or high school owner, and they've had to shut down because they're out of funds, and they've invested hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, and they're not getting any return, because they're sending players to lands and stuff like that, and nobody
Yeah.
can
I think
return.
I think the problem is a lot of like the owners don't like I don't want to say they don't do like their due diligence, but it's like they invest the money but don't invest the time. So it's like a lot of these owners they could know the team that they're sending and really know if it's worth it to fund that team or not. But a lot of these owners just think, oh, these guys are competitive players and people know them. Let me just fund them. But then they don't know that they're really just like I guess donating to a charity, almost just sending these guys to land just for them to have a fun time and not really win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big problem because I mean, for example, I know my last the last land that I went to before I got deployed, that team was like that was just like a fun land. Like I knew we weren't gonna win, but I was still going, and somehow one of the players pulled out funds from this org, and I was like, there is no way that we just got funded to go to this land. Like it made no sense. I think that's the problem is that a lot of the people in like the COD community, and they probably won't admit it. They're trying to be, humble little guys, but it's like they'll milk an organization because they don't want to spend their own money because they probably don't have their own money, but they know that people are out there willing to pay for them, and they're gonna milk that until they can't anymore.
I've heard horror stories where people just funded teams to just go to a land, and they go, they win, but then they just ghost them. They don't give them any of the prize money. They don't even get the
Oh
trophy.
yeah,
But
there's that too.
they
That
funded
that's
the
a big
money, and then
issue.
they're gone.
That's why like a lot of it too is I can't really call org owners out because I've never owned an org, but it's also like being like a premature like org owner. Like you don't really know if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
Like you got these players, if you don't have them under contract and you're not like an actual business, you can't really hold them accountable. And a lot of these guys are like piles. Like they could care less about you. They just want to go. And if they win, like if they actually win, because a lot of these players that go don't actually think they're gonna go and win. And if
Hmm.
they win, they'll definitely ghost you for their own profit. It's a sad little community, but it's just how they are.
And that's one thing I loved growing up playing COD, and it's one of my big things. I would love to venture back over to COD if content creation worked out for me, and so far it is. And I've
Hmm.
made lots of connections, people that's had 20, 30,000 followers on platforms, and heck, been in contact with people that has over 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers across all platforms. And some of them are really cocky, and then some of
Yeah,
them are just the most genuine, nicest person you've ever met. And I think that resonates in Call of Duty too, just like in a
oh yeah,
player, because someone could be super cocky or someone can just show their game. I remember when you played for me, you weren't really cocky, but I remember shooting bodies in championships.
yeah,
That was great.
yeah. It's like, I mean, I'm not really one to like put an ego out there. It's more like I'm big like on let your actions do the talking, and like usually people that have an ego are usually like the black-hearted, just really really crappy people to be around. Like they're no fun. But it's like if you're
Hmm.
gonna like build a foundation and actually like have a following and what do you say, like lead a team, you don't want to like be the guy that's always shit talking, always like, putting up poor performances, but always have like a terrible attitude about everything. That's just gonna, it's like a terrible foundation to be on.
Oh yeah, and then like Adopt. We could never beat Adopt when we
Oh
played
my
with
God.
Frosted Vipers. I don't know why we couldn't, but that is one team we could never beat.
I remember. It was just I feel like the best way to explain it is like you could beat every other team and you could beat like even the best team. But I feel like there's always that one roster that just the way that they play is like it just works so well against you.
Oh yeah, I
I feel like
remember.
that was that roster.
Yeah, Fury and then um, Georgie. That was a roster. I don't know how the hell still don't compete because I think Adopt died. There's a lot of teams that's died. There's a lot of new
Yeah.
teams that are still going. And heck, I know teams that are dying now or they're shutting down at the end of the year. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, it's kind of sad to see people shut down.
I
Um,
mean, I think it goes back again. I really think like the players and the COD community kind of killed it. I'm not gonna lie.
I I seen it going downhill when I was in it.
Oh
I
yeah,
I
it's
remember from Cold War to Vanguard and then converting to the next game. I was like, everybody's just dying off. I said the players, and then once Verdansk was gone, I was like, I think that was the real turning point was when Verdansk disappeared, and
yeah.
then you
I
had
mean,
Caldera. And then that's when everybody started changing.
yeah. It was definitely a shift in mentality and like a whole like business spectrum of Call of Duty after that. I feel like Verdansk kind of like a real blockade and like multiplayer like competitive COD, and then after that it was like the whole like profitable margin in competitive like in the comp scene in COD just kind of went down and never really bounced back after that.
Yeah, I'll even watch like the viewership and look at everybody that's playing, and then seeing the analytics from like the games and stuff like that. I'm like, this is not what it used to be. I said it used to be 10 times better. I
Yeah.
remember like just even in Cold War and Vanguard, just watching sitting there and watching the games and seeing how many people are watching compared to now. And the hype for Black Ops 6 to now gone.
100%. I mean, it's also like people that like grew up playing COD and like really enjoyed it. I feel like they're all grown up now. They're all
Oh
living their
yeah.
best adult lives.
I remember the playing nights and getting called a squeaker, and
Yeah.
the older guys would say, "One day you're not going to have time to even play this game," and you say you're going to be up in the middle of the night playing this game just to get away from your wives. And I was like, "What the hell?" And then now I can understand. I own a house. And I'm like, "Damn, I can really see that what they meant by that."
And it's like those old heads were actually like, kind of spitting some facts there.
And hell, some of them they were like 25, 30, and hell, they're probably 35, 40 now. And who knows what
Yeah.
they might have a 20-year-old the same age as me now at this point.
We got kids in high school and they're living living their life. Maybe not the best one, but they're living it.
I remember I had a guy, his name was State Goose. I played with
What
him
a
all the
name.
time, and then I had Company One. He was also another guy. They were both older and they played with me, and they honestly kind of taught me how to play Call of Duty back in Black Ops 3. And then they've disappeared off the face of the earth as well. And I don't even know where they've gone to. I've like tried to reach out, nothing.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that happens a lot. Like a lot of the people that I've competed with in the past, I feel like only two or three of them have like kept contact with me, and one of them's fearless from that team, and that's just because I think kind of like grew a relationship outside of just COD. But a lot of these guys like that you meet, I guess in this game, in this title specifically, it's really just like a almost like a business. It's like they're there with you in the moment and like your friends like in the game and in that short span, but after that they could probably care less about you.
Yeah, I've talked to multiple owners and players as well, and I wanted to bring you on because you were a player and captain for me for so long, probably for over a year, maybe a year and a half. And
Oh yeah.
a lot of them talked about how nobody realizes that you got to treat it as a business, and some people don't take it serious, and that's when they really lose their team. And I feel like that was part of the issue with me. I didn't know how to market my team, and then I also didn't invest in my team. I was trying to do it at the bare minimum. I think I only invested a little bit of money, and that's it.
I mean, realistically, if it should be like 50-50. It's like as an owner, yes, you should invest time, but you should also have players who are gonna like invest equally. So it shouldn't be like, just an org owner like dumping thousands of his money into the team and then that team not like giving reciprocal funds or like reciprocal effort back.
Hmm.
That's a big like delusion in esports. Like all these players, like sure, you're talented, but it shouldn't be the owner doing everything for you. That you should do your effort and like give back because he's like given so much to you. That's just how I see it. But
Yeah, and like a lot of people, they'll just be there for you. They don't come to any of the special events you host, or and I'm not just talking about like Frosted Vipers, because if I had to redo Frosted Vipers, I would change a fuck ton of what I did. And that's not just because of uh, who I was and being cocky. It was more of me being inexperienced.
yeah,
Being what was it? I was a sophomore in high school, so yeah, that's when I started. It was sophomore year. So I was a 16-year-old in high school running an esports team. I had Vanguard, I had or Cold War, whatever you want to say, and then you had Warzone, Rebirth, and then I had Apex. I was working on Rocket League, and then I had a Halo team too at one point. I was stretching myself out thin, and then I was trying to get general managers to help me out, but they couldn't help. Um, and then once I lost you, I couldn't keep a multiplayer team, and I had this one guy come in, and he said he would guarantee this he I would send him the challengers, and then he came on to a team that you guys would usually own, and they got
yeah,
0-3. They only got like 50 points on hardpoint.
we
I
love that.
I was like, wow, there's no way. I said I would
Yeah,
never
that's
send you guys the challengers.
I've witnessed that a lot. A lot of people have like this delusion that they're just gross and this org should give them everything. That's very common.
Yeah, and
I feel like I feel like to own an org, it's a recipe for success. Like you gotta do it all perfectly. And it's so difficult because I guess like lack of experience, like you said. It's like if you don't know, you really just don't know. And sometimes by the time you have like that 2020 hindsight, it's too late,
Hmm.
too far gone.
And like I said, I've said multiple times, like if I got like a good paying job to help on an esports team or like some type of being in esports, I would consider it,
Yeah,
just because like my love for esports is still there. And it's not just like I stopped loving Call of Duty. It's just that I was burnt out. I was, let's see, that was over 2 years of me every single day thinking about Call of Duty, trying to get players, trying to get people to play, recruit, uh, get games scheduled and stuff like that. It was a tough time, especially in high school, having homework and then football, and then I threw shot put and discus and track and field. Um, it's kind of a hard time to do, and people don't understand the investment of time you have to really do it. And it's just like a business. You got to invest your time. And if you really want it, you have to go get it. And I knew once I lost my multiplayer team, I lost my rebirth team, then I lost my Warzone captain. The only thing I had was like my Warzone players. I was like,
yeah,
it's time to shut down. I had
yeah.
I had a very long term relationship. It was like 3.5 years all through high school, and then we broke up around that time. And then I just was like, I completely shut down everything. Hell, I even deleted Discord off my phone. Deleted Discord, turned off all like my BlueStar gaming social media, and I just went blank for 3 to 4 months actually. And this was, it
Okay, I
wasn't
remember that.
24, it was 23. And that was when I started cutting weight. Yeah, yeah, it was 23. I started cutting
Mm.
weight. It was February 23. I started cutting weight, and I blocked everybody out. And I didn't play Xbox. I didn't play Call of Duty. I really just focused on myself at that point. And that was probably one of the greatest getaways. And then I started competing again, um, trying to compete. I started playing Madden and competing. And I thought about making a
Uh,
team for Madden, and then I was like, it's really not even worth it. Um,
Madden, yeah, Madden's kind of its own special little esport. That's an odd one to get into.
yeah, and then they got as soon as I got into it, they released the new mechanics. And I was like, hell, every time I get into something, they release new mechanics. I was like, shit, I got to learn new mechanics. So then I had
Just like COD all
when
over
I
again.
got next gen, I tried to learn uh, the new stuff. I was just like, it feels weird. The player feels weird. The quarterback feels weird. I'm like, I just can't play it. I said,
Yeah.
I just got to play casually for fun at this point. And I ended up having a friend that played Roblox, and she wanted me to come play Roblox. So was trying to do streaming again. I started that in the summer of 24. Yeah, summer of 24, I started that up, and then I took a little break. I was doing Madden and Call of Duty streams. That wasn't working. I took a little break when I bought the house. Once I moved into the house, I streamed Roblox once, and honestly, Roblox is helped a lot. I've grown a community through Roblox, and then now I'm trying to translate over to Minecraft and get bring a community over. And like I enjoy Roblox because there's multiple games, and a lot of people say it's kid games, but
I mean,
the community, hell, if you look at the top person on Roblox, it's like they have like 900 viewers. Second has like 200, third's 100, and then fourth is like 40 or 30. I've had
yeah,
the other day I had a 34 person stream. I was top 5 on Roblox leaderboard. And
that's money too.
oh yeah. I've made money off of this. January was my best month. I made over $700 uh,
Damn.
from streaming, and that I did. It was a great time. I mean, I've lost. The thing is, I've committed to it a little bit too much, and I've kind of lost. I lost a relationship too from it because, and it was going. It was a deep relationship. Like she was gonna, she was moving in a couple weeks,
Oh my.
and things were getting serious. Talking about having kids and stuff, and then shit kind of just went south because I valued streaming a lot, and I was like dead set on the schedule. I was upset if I wasn't on time, and I took it way too serious. And I talked about this in my couple of podcasts ago, and it's just content creation is always where I've wanted to be. I started when I was in 2011 when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, and then
Oh yeah.
here I am 10 years later still trying to do it, and it's just now popping off for me.
And that's really what it is. Like, as much as you hate that to happen, it's kind of like you need to be consistent if you're trying to make it in content creation too. And I mean, a little side topic here, like being like a married since I'm married and I have two kids, it's like if your partner that you want for the rest of your life is not willing to like be by your side when when you still have goals in life like content creation, like obviously if you still have like a full-time job and you're trying to do that on the side, it's gonna be a packed schedule. And if like they're not willing to work with you to achieve your goals, and it's kind of like they were never really like with you for the long run, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, and at first she was all about it, and she'd come in here. She even played on stream, and she'd sit in that chair and sit right next to me, and play
Hmm.
with us. And hell, when I had to like go cook because I had food prep to cook, she'd say, well, "Can I stream?" And I'd let her stream for me. And
Oh yeah.
we called her Pink Star, and I turned the lights pink. I have a pink star over there. I have a LED star over there because I move it for the podcast, my face cam, and I turned it pink. I
Hmm.
turned my LEDs pink for her. Called her Pink Star, and shit was great. And then all of a sudden, I started the 75 hard. Do you know what that is?
Isn't that like the workout plan where it's like it just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think my friend tried to get me to do it and I think he ended up quitting before I did, and I was like, well, why the hell am I gonna do it by myself?
Yeah, the 75 hard. It's 75 days straight, no cheating on your diet, work out twice a day, one inside, one outside, drink a gallon of water a day, no alcohol, read 10 pages of book a day, and take a
Hmm.
progress picture. And uh, I was staying up late already, and I did make a mistake. I made mistakes along the way. Like I would stream over my usual time. Usually I stream 3 hours, but I was going over like 4 or 5 hours at a time or 6 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And honestly, couldn't do that because I had her all the time, and then she started to like get distant and felt left out from it. So I mean, not I'm a lot of shit was my fault, but like you said, the support, being it for the long ride, you really gotta know your partner
Yeah.
for the future. And shit went south one day, and then I thought things were gonna recover, and then that kind of really opened my eyes that not everything is about content creation, but
Hmm.
recently I've gotten that drive that I want to show like the content creation can be done. Uh, you don't have to be just a small content creator. You can be a big content creator. You just got to grind and then find that next thing to go over the hunch. That's why I interview people like you or other content creators. I get their story out there, get people to connect with them, and then I hear more about their story, and then I can put that into my life as well. Because I started
Yeah.
this podcast. I started it back in Frosted Vipers. I don't know if you remember it. Um, I did two podcasts, one by myself, the one with Kill Switch Gunner, and then I just quit it. And then I started back up September of last year, and I was doing it once a week. And then now I changed it to every other week. So now,
Yeah.
and then I post the video between it, so it kind of alternates. Honestly, it's going pretty well. Streaming's going great, and honestly, the drive kind of stalled for a little bit after that relationship because a lot of
Yeah, I
people
can't
don't
blame you for that. Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand, like, when you have somebody you think that you could marry, or like someone you know you're going to have a future with, it kind of hurts.
Oh yeah.
And um, and some people don't realize that, but and I had to take a few breaks. I did say that I was going to stream every day for the rest of the year this year, and so far I've honored that. No matter if it's been like 30 minutes. Hell, I went on vacation to Pigeon Forge in Tennessee in Gatlinburg,
I love that place. Yeah.
and I streamed for 30 minutes walking down Gatlinburg on the strip.
Yeah, that's dedication. That's the type of shit that'll help grow a brand right there.
And only like a few people came by the stream because obviously I wasn't gaming. Nobody was really
Cool.
interested.
Yeah.
But I said it that it doesn't matter because all I said was going to stream every day, and I was strict that
Mhm.
I was going to stream at 9 p.m. Eastern time every day. I've also changed that to where I start stream between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern time, and on weekdays I end at midnight, no matter what time.
Mhm.
So I don't have the strictness like I used to. Is one of the big
Yeah. I
things.
mean, that's also like that's good like trial and error. It's just like you have to. Life is, life is simple, but it's also hard, and it's like you have to find like that perfect balance, especially if you want to try and do like two. What do you say? Like two jobs at a time, almost like you're working and you're trying to set personal goals, but you also have like that one big goal in the back where it's like your long-term goal, like you want to be a content creator. It's like you have to, it's hard to find that, like, find the fine balance of it all. And
Mm.
sometimes like you gotta lose some things along the way to like actually make it work for once. That's what I realized too. Like for a second there, it was choppy. Like I'm not gonna say all of it was like, flowers and muffins, I guess you'd say. Terrible analogy, but it's like it's definitely a fine balance. And if you don't find that, the whole fun part of gaming kind of gets like not so fun, a lot more stressful.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing for me because I would stream at first. It would be 4 hours every day, start at 9 o'clock, and then I'd have work at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, wherever you want to say,
Mm.
and I would sleep maybe 7 to 6 hours, and then uh, my sleep schedule was getting fucked, so I had to switch it to 3 hours, and a lot of people didn't like it at first, but then it became the normal for 3 hours. And then I would
Yeah.
only stream one game for 3 hours on Roblox, and then and it wasn't like you would progress at all. It would just
Mm.
be, you'd go, you die, you restart, and that was it. Kind of, I was starting to die off like my faith in it, and then I started branching out to other games. I
Yeah.
found a first person shooter that I liked. Went to a game called Fish, and then now we have branched out to Minecraft because Fish kind of died for me as well. Uh,
Yeah.
what killed it was a relationship. I don't know why, but once we broke up, I was like, yeah, screw Fish. They started pumping out multiple updates. Like, they
Yeah.
pumped out an update a week, like not just a small update, but a massive update. Like, they pumped out a whole new world. Then the next week they pumped out whole new things you could catch. I'm just like, I was gone for 2 weeks, and hell, the game's completely changed. I,
Yeah, that's
s- I'm,
definitely
I'm like, I'm
this world moves way
completely
too fast.
behind. And then I just like, I'm not even gonna screw with it anymore. I tried to get back into it, and then they changed like limited edition fish to non-limited edition fish, or secret fish to not secret fish. So they were, instead of being rare, they're not as rare, and their trading value would go down. Just like, I grinded for this shit, and then you're just gonna
Yeah.
change it.
Everything you worked for just gets devalued with an update.
I know. I'm just like, it's not even the inflation. It's the they de-inflated it themselves. I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Just the creators themselves gonna put a break in your whole process there.
And then to tap back into your balance, what you talked about,
Yeah.
I started doing the 75 hard, and I was 14 days into 75 hard is when we broke up, and that was probably the toughest time of 75 hard, because I'm on day 51 today, and
Hell yeah.
May 14th is my last day, and that was probably the toughest day. I thought about quitting. I thought about like going out to eat, binge eating, um, and somehow I kept it on the tracks and then kept going. But the balance of doing a full time job, owning a house, streaming 75 hard, then I own a car, a truck, and a four wheeler.
Mhm.
All maintaining all of those things, and then plus having a girlfriend, something had to budge, and what happened was my sleep budged. I would get 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. I was doing that for weeks. I well, it wasn't weeks. It was 2 weeks. And
Mhm.
after 2 weeks, I would get angry faster. I'd fly off the edge quicker, and then that's what did it for everything. Um,
Yeah.
and then not having time was another thing, and I came to realization like I can't take stuff serious, it that serious when I got to focus on stuff individually. I can't just focus all on one thing and then still be doing shit. So
Yeah.
that's one thing people really have to do is balance. If they want a dream to happen, they got to really balance stuff for other stuff to work out as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, like the big creators, it's like they all kind of had to sacrifice something for it all to work out. And like once it works out, it's kind of like everything kind of like slows down. You can finally find like the comfort in your like what you like to do. And I mean, obviously, like you shouldn't be willing to give up like things that you love, but it's like sometimes if you really want it bad enough, like the dedication to like give up some sort of comfort kind of has to happen, especially in today's world if you really want to be successful and like at some point just let everything kind of work for you. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously I'm not successful, so I don't really have the I guess the cards to kind of hand out like I'm the one that's played that game and I've won kind of deal.
Well,
But
everybody's successful in their own way, and um, people don't want to give up and they just want to live the normal life. And
yeah.
for me, I put too much on my plate. And with 75 hard, you have 245 workouts a day. And that's an hour and a half a day of working out. But then you got
Mhm.
to think you got the food prep, you got the preparation to work out. So, like getting dressed, getting to where you're going to work out, planning your workout. That's easily consuming 3 hours more a day than it usually would. So then you got to completely budge a fuck ton if you want what you really wanted.
Yeah. I feel like a
But
lot of people get burnt out too. Like they'll take on all these like challenges and it's a change in their lifestyle, but it's like they get burnt out and then they kind of it all crashes from there. I guess that's what I've realized because like when I was doing that, I was trying to like really compete in college. Like, I was really before I got to play, like I was really trying to like get on a team and like actually make challenges work. Sleep was not there. I'd stay up till like 2 or 3 a.m. like really like wanting it, and then hey, like you got to wake up at like 5:30. I'm like Jesus, man. Like well, whatever. Like I'll keep on doing it. I feel like at some point, like obviously my comfort level was not there,
mm-hmm.
but then like life all around you just kind of doesn't make it any easier. So then it's like the pressure's on you, and it's like how long can you keep on doing it? And a lot of the times people just get burnt out, and it never really like recovers or it never really works out for them. It's just an ongoing struggle.
And like for example, my when I owned Frosted Vipers, I was so burnt out And when everything went to hell, I crashed and burned. I completely went off the face of the earth and competitive. And then when I came back and like my balance, I didn't learn to how to balance everything. That was one of my biggest issues was balancing. Was her and content and then just everything combined. I didn't know how to balance everything, and some things like stream it started going down, the
Mhm.
relationship went down, work ethic went down, everything was brought down. And then obviously with a little bit of time back after things ended, but in 24 days when I'm done with 75 hard, things are really going to come back. And I was going to document the whole series, like we're going to do a vlog and stuff like that. She was also
Yeah.
going to do the 75 hard. And just the experience with the 75 hard, it's life changing. It's not something that the normal person should endure unless you have the mental capacity to really go through a lot of hell. You really got to focus on yourself and
Yeah.
becoming the best version of yourself. It's not meant for the normal person.
Oh no, I mean sometimes even after like, even if you have like that mental ability to like kind of push through those things, it's like sometimes backing up and like getting that like social cleanse or just like cleansing from whatever like you like made you want to do the challenge. Like also it's not the worst thing in the world. It's like it's kind of you realizing like your limit and taking
Hmm.
that step back to like recover and then attack the same challenge.
Oh yeah. And like when I went to Tennessee and Pigeon Forge, it was a 1 day trip. And we did a hike for the outside workout, but then we did
Hmm.
a I didn't do an inside workout the entire time or do two outside workouts. So we left at 6 o'clock in the morning. We didn't get there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And
Let's drive.
then because we made a few stops along the way. And then we were
Yeah.
there until like we didn't leave till like 11 o'clock at night, but we didn't get back until 8 in the morning. We had to pull over and take a nap, and I'm up with an hour of sleep from over. It was like 29 hours of me being awake. It was like 8 or 9 in the morning when I got back in my house. I'm on the carpet doing a workout, just a small workout at 8 and 9 in the
Yeah.
morning, and I'm like, this is dedication. I
Yeah.
said, because it was kind of a celebratory to be halfway through 75 hard. Because I made
Yeah.
steak, eggs, and avocado
Hell yeah.
for being halfway through 75 hard, and then we went to Tennessee for like a
Hmm.
celebratory thing too, and then just all that combined was like I'm halfway through, I can't quit,
Yeah.
and uh, after I look at the milestones too. Like if you guys go off of like timestamps too, like 14 days in, I was like, I'm 11 days away from being 1/3 of the way done of 75 hard. And then I got to halfway. I'm like, I'm now halfway through 75 hard. I just got to redo everything of what I've done previously and do it one more time. That's it. I said, the worst part's over. I said, the easy part's going to be finishing this.
Yeah. Glass half full or glass half empty.
And then now, yesterday, I'm 2/3 of the way done. I'm just like, it's all downhill from now. I'm like, I'm looking at the calendar. I looked at the calendar today. I'm like, I am 3.5 weeks out from being done. And when it hits May 1st, I'm going to be like, I'm 2 weeks away from being done.
Oh
14
yeah.
days. And 14 is probably a big number for me now that, like, I don't know. I mean, our anniversary, we broke up on our anniversary.
Oh wow.
And so 14 has really stuck with me, along with we met on the 14th too. We met on the 14th, got together on the 14th.
Hmm.
We broke up on the 14th. I was 14 days into the 75 hard. So 14 has really resonated a lot. I don't know if it's just me being geek at looking at all the numbers, but like 14 has done a lot. Um, and then May 14th being the last day too is huge.
Just what are the odds it all lines up like that?
I know. Just getting together on the 14th, breaking up on the 14th, breaking up on day 14 of the 75 hard, and May 14th is the last day of the 75 hard. And then
Maybe four,
it's
maybe
huge.
14's like your lucky, unlucky number.
Oh yeah. And I'm just like, I'm so excited to finish 75 hard, and I did the math. You can do 5 75 hards in a year. It's like 4.9 something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, 1/5 of my year is being taken out, but the mental work and the self work that you work on yourself during the 75 hard is huge.
Yeah. It's 75 days just to making yourself better. I like challenging yourself, and I mean, I didn't do it. I quit halfway through. I was like, I don't want to do this alone. Like, why would I do it? But
That was one of my big things because she was doing it too, and then when we broke up, she obviously quit,
mhm.
and I was like, well, shit, I'm the only one doing this, and then I struggled. I doing a workout in the middle of the night. I'm just like, I don't even want to do this. I just want to go lay down in my bed and sleep. And
Yeah.
I said, all the shit that I've gone through 75 hard is really going to bring me out a better and stronger person than I was when I started.
Oh, kudos to you for keep going. I mean, that's keep on keeping on.
Oh yeah. But I appreciate having you on the podcast. We've obviously got off on other tangents, but obviously
Oh, I
it's a
mean,
part of the
that's what a podcast
podcast.
is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
part of it, man. But I really appreciate having you on, though. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me.
And obviously, is there anything else you'd like to say to maybe any COD players out there, or any advice you'd like to give to anybody?
As far as COD players, I mean, nothing's really, I guess be flexible. Be willing to be flexible because it's like you're gonna find a lot of teams that you like, and that team's just not gonna work out. You're gonna find a lot of players that you like, and they're just gonna go off and do their own thing. It's just part of the business aspect if you actually want to make it a career. If not, just play COD, bro. Don't take anything serious. I promise you, it's not that serious. It's literally a video game. And then, I mean, as far as life, just be true to yourself. Don't be the fake one to fit in the group. Just be yourself. I promise you. That makes life that much better.
Hell yeah. I appreciate having you on. Uh, is there any socials you'd like to plug for anybody to check you out? I know you got your Twitter and stuff like that.
I mean, if I won't do too much, if you want to just go check out my Twitter, it's at KMillzy, KMILLZI. I mean, you can check that out if you want to hit me up. I'm willing to talk. I'm always available. I won't shut you out. I promise.
Like I said, I appreciate having you on. Um,
Of
obviously,
course, thank you, thank you.
this is episode 20 of all my podcasts, so it's kind of a milestone. At least it's not number 14, okay? I mean,
Yeah, that would have been a little odd, but
they would have been a little bit odds. We're past 14 though, but um, I appreciate everybody coming by. You guys know on my socials, Real Blue Star Gaming on everything besides Twitter, because they hate Real Blue Star Gaming. It's too long apparently. So
yeah.
it's Real Blue Star underscores on both sides of that. But I appreciate everybody coming by. I'll see you guys in a few weeks. I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.
We'll see ya.